What is up, Packers fans? Welcome back to the Daily Draft. I'm your host, Ross Uglem, and today's episode is brought to you by Packer Report and Brew Ski Light Lager from Badger State Brewing right there in beautiful Green Bay, Wisconsin. Just minutes away from Lambeau Field, where they're going to have a ton of super fun stuff to do on draft weekend. Let's dive into Georgia linebacker Jalon Walker. This is going to be one of the weirdest ones that I'm going to do because I am going to advocate for a player that I really don't want the Packers to take. I have an awesome grade on Jalon. I like him a ton. I think that the sky is just the freaking limit, but I don't see him in Green Bay. I'll get into it right now. Pros, explosive football player. Really excited for Georgia's pro day just to kind of put some numbers to what I see on film, but he seems to be an incredible bouncy athlete. Young with a lot of runway in front of him. He's either 20 or 21. He's definitely not 22 yet. He is a young football player that you can hope can get better, right? And even when he was young, he was pretty darn good. Played for Georgia early on in his life, right? Got real snaps when he's 18, 19 years old. Even in a defense with just dudes coming out year after year after year, he was able to find playing time. I think his best case scenario, this is a pro. I think his best case scenario is what the Packers thought they were getting with Quay Walker or like a bigger Edgerrin Cooper. Those are kind of the like what he could be. I see because he pass rushes that you could go like Clay Matthews, Micah Parsons. I think it's more of a like a blitzer at the NFL level. He turned the edge, and we'll talk about it. He turned the edge, but I think at the NFL level, it's more of like a blitzer, right? And so I think he's more of um, like a edge Cooper than he is like a Clay Matthews. Clay Matthews just lined up on the edge and rushed the passer. I don't know that I necessarily see that for Jalon Walker. Size and frame, both good. Versatility is key. He does rush off the edge. You can move him around. Good at taking on blocks and gives effort against the run, whether it is off the edge or as a linebacker. And he's strong at the point of attack. He's an edge bender in the pass rush game, an effective one. The Packers don't have that. That's both a Packers fit thing, I guess, and a pro thing, a positive thing. I think he's a dude. That's like he's a dog. He's literally a Georgia dog, but he is a dog. Guys, buy the Green Bay Draft Guide powered by Packer Report. It's the number one way to support us. Yes, I think right now at 50% off, you can go be a Packer Report VIP, and we'd love that. But the draft guide, baby, that's our lifeblood here in February, April, and March. It's the number one way to kind of say thank you to us. And by the way, it's worth every nickel. You don't need to just do it because you like this show or do it because you like me or you enjoy following me on social media, whatever. It is worth every darn nickel. But speaking of those nickels, use promo code DAILY for $1 off. Cons on Jalon Walker. The tweener word could apply here. It's possible that he could end up being good at everything and great at nothing. I get that. And then it's like, okay, so how do you assign value to that? How do you assign value to that if he's just kind of, he can rush the passer and he can play a little linebacker and he can cover a little, but in a key situation, he doesn't get home. In a key situation, he misses a tackle, or in a key situation, he can't take away the best, the other team's tight end or their receiving back. At some point, you got to be able to do something at a super high level in the NFL to be a first round pick. And I'm willing to. You'll see where I rank him. I'm willing to go. But anyway, PFF grading is okay. It's not great, and I'm not going to use that to color everything I think about him. But when I talk about consistency, that's what I'm talking about with PFF grading. Play in, play out. Are you dominating? He's like a mid-70s guy, and so that's where I kind of see on consistency with tape inconsistency. That's where you see sort of more mediocre PFF grading for a player whose ceiling is just in the stars. I really think this kid could be something super, super special. Can he rush? And if not, what pick do you take a linebacker with his skill set? That's my question. If he's Micah Parsons, he's worth the first pick. Okay. If he's Clay Matthews, frankly, he's worth the first pick. He's the Packers' all-time leading sack guy. I mean, I don't know where he goes in a redraft of that draft, but if you could guarantee me Clay Matthews or Micah Parsons' career, that's 1.1. Okay, that's where you take that guy. I just don't know. Packers fit in their defense, and this is where it gets a little bit shaky. His best case scenario is basically two guys they already have on the roster. With that said, don't dare Goody into taking a bulldog because he will. I really don't see the fit. I think they have Quay. I think they have Edge Cooper. I don't know that it makes any sense unless he's a Quay replacement, because he is basically Quay. And so if you're not going to extend Quay, which they have already talked about extending Quay, then Jalon Walker makes a ton of sense. And I guess, too, we don't know, like, and they're real questionable with linebackers like Blake Martinez, not a super athlete. Jake Ryan was, I think. You can go through, like, Tyron Hopper, not a super athlete. Edgerrin Cooper is. You never know what they like at linebacker, but we don't know anything because he didn't test. Overall, and this is where, again, like, I'm of two minds with this. Overall, he is a first-round grade for me. I'm willing to take the risk if I'm an NFL team. He's my 16th overall player. Just maybe not for the Packers, because he's not going to start at defensive end. They don't need to do this for another linebacker. Again, unless they're getting rid of Quay, it's just not how I would use this pick. But I think this guy is both literally and figuratively a dog. Real short. Drink brewski. Buy the draft guide. Go Pack, go.